So Michael, we were talking about, as you drink your latte and your croissant, have your
Let me
croissant,
finish eating.
we were talking about your working class background, which is important. Also, tough neighborhood Newark, African American friends, Irish Italian background that's sometimes sometimes at odds with one another. Maybe you can just tell me a little bit about how you see culture having shaped you in your life. All of these experiences, religion, Catholic religion, how does it all kind of come together for you?
I honestly don't know. Since I was living it at the time, I was immersed in it, so trying to pull back and be objective about it, I'm sure it shaped me as much as anybody's growing experience has shaped them, wherever you come from, nature, nurture. But it was all normal.
Do you feel Italian, Irish, Catholic?
Only when I'm around my Irish-Italian relatives. And I have 32 first cousins on my Italian side and 4 on my Irish side. So I do have a cousin who's loves the Irish side, and he's very historical. He does the whole thing with the family tree and all that sort of thing, the genealogy. I tried to be neutral. My mother used to say, "You're an American." And that was a big part of it. You know, my grandmother wanted all the kids, my Italian grandmother wanted all the kids to speak English. My Italian grandfather would only speak Italian. But we were taught, you're an American.
So your mother married an Irish person. That must have not been...
Well, it's like, who was lower on the totem pole at the time? Was it the Irish, or the Italians? Because that was the wave of generation post-World War II. We were at the end of that immigration wave where my folks were. And, there was competition, for lack of a better word. Who was further up the economic ladder, the Italians or the Irish, as a group.
And black friends too, you mentioned that you had.
Well, the blacks were always second-class citizens to either of these groups. Mm-hmm. That's the impression I was always given. It's just the way it was.
So how was it possible then for you to step outside of that and have these close friends?
Because I had a mother who would not tolerate prejudice. She said everybody's God's child. She was a real Christian in the truest sense. Mm-hmm. And she didn't care. She wouldn't brook any conversations that were prejudicial or racist, or she just wouldn't. Everybody was welcome in our home. Mm-hmm. So when you have that, everybody's the same. You're a kid. You stop looking at their color like, oh, it's mm-hmm. Tony, it's Vinny. Who cares?
How about having a working class background and having to struggle, having to make choices based on things you could and couldn't afford? How was that affected?
Well, that did affect me. I wanted more. Nobody drove in my family. I was the first one to have a car. I worked starting at 12 years old and saved up enough when I was 16 to buy my first car. Didn't get a license till I was 17, but I had a car. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be out.
So you could have decided